Good evening, good afternoon, good day, everybody. Hey, USCG Azimuth has resubscribed. Many thanks, dude. So you catch us, we're live a little bit early before Murph stream ends, and you join us in the air. We're en route to Oshkosh for our own little simulated air venture. And somehow my flaps are down. Hope you're all doing well this fine evening. So here shortly I will be taking the stream torch over for Two-Tone Murphy as he's about to land in Oshkosh. I have him on my screen right over to the side. And we are slowly making our way to the Oshkosh. We started at our own surprise destination. We're flying up a coast, we're going to fly over some water, we're going to fly around here and there, and then we'll make our way to Oshkosh. We will be having some ATC at some point. Once we get closer to Oshkosh, we will likely be joined by some other flyers, whether they've departed out of Oshkosh to find me, or they've just spawned on me, or they're gonna fly from somewhere else. Really looking forward to it. It's gonna be grand. Really excited for it. It's gonna be a ton of fun. Yeah, really looking forward to it. So we'll be getting the old raidage here soon. Murph completely missed the turn 2 final, which is okay. Flying in Oshkosh can be rather confusing because it's really busy. But it's an amazing event. No, not the Gene Company, but the city in Wisconsin. It's actually the home of the Oshkosh vehicle manufacturer that makes like the MRAPs and such. Their facility is actually right by the airport that we're going to. So not Oshkosh Bagosh, but Oshkosh, the city, Whitman Regional, home of EAA's Air Venture, which many in aviation simply call it Oshkosh. The world's premier aviation celebration, as it's called. It's probably the biggest air show event in the world. Kingsman 9965 is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Saw you on Murph's chat. Glad to see you over here. You've never heard of Oshkosh Bagosh? Azimuth. Well, I'll forgive you. You're from California, but Oshkosh Bagosh is a thing over here. Glad to have you all along, Kingsman. Two of my best veteran friends. There's Abnormal 34. Hello, hello. It looks like we are over Holland, not the Netherlands. Nice, Azimuth. Well deserved, my dude. So Azimuth, the host of Maritime Horrors on YouTube, finally reached 1,000 subscribers and is now in the YouTube partnership program. Very nice, dude. Well deserved. Your content is amazing. It's just fantastic. And it's always very rewatchable. So there was some debate on what I was going to fly and where I was going to fly from for today's special event. I had a couple of ideas, flying from Sault Ste. Marie, in something, flying somewhere else in like a CJ4, something unique, and it dawned on me, what else could I fly in but a plane that looks like my grandpa's? Flying from my home airport, there's nothing more appropriate than doing this. I never got the chance to fly to Oshkosh with my grandpa, but I've had many, many, many wonderful memories with my grandpa at Oshkosh. So there was no other way to celebrate, just a culmination of things that I love than to, remember my grandpa when doing this. So we're going to humbly make our way up the coast, cross the lake, and get into the approach and the arrival for Oshkosh, which is going to take some time, some amount of time. And once we're down, we'll be raiding Captain Seppi, as we will be, words are hard, as we will be getting the raid here soon from the Two-Tone Murphy, who just completed his landings and event, or is in the process of completing his event, his stint going from Field of Dreams Airport into Oshkosh in his Piper Warrior 2. We have begun our stint, and once we complete that, we will move on to Captain Seppi. That would be a little hard, but yes. I fully intend on not doing a lot of bouncing around in the plane, because that'd just do damage. That just wouldn't be good. We do have some folks manning the ATC lines over on the Two-Tone Murphy Discord. So we're just making sure everything's good to go. The weather couldn't have been much lovelier for the flight over. And I mean, it's just, the weather's just really, really nice. Here's something real quick. Change up the music just a little bit. That one. Turned out to be a beautiful day outside in real life, too. We are running live weather in live time, because what better way to do it? We are running flight events. Just been a fantastic idea that's really done well. It's really exceeded my expectations over on Murph's channel, which makes me happy. It looks like it's coming in. There's Two-Tone Murphy with the raidage. Great stream, my friend. Always happy to have you raid. Well done on the approach and landing, my friend. Ya boy Games 102i is now following. Many thanks, dude. And here we are for the next leg. Absolutely, Dougal. Hey, Two Cats, Jefferson 2001, Motham. Godden is here, Scorpio, Kryptonic, hello. There's Muse Fan. Hope you're all doing well. Muse Fan, Moose Knuckle Life is here. How you doing? Viper with the sippage. There's Captain Seppi, who we will be raiding later on tonight when we're finishing our leg. Mr. Hoppy, it's been a beautiful day. We're going to Oshkosh. USCG Azimuth with the gift sub to Ben of All. Many thanks for you, Ben of All. Let's see, Torfred Wilson with the follow. Many thanks. Link Hart 2891 with the raid. Yes, thank you. Goblin Zeus, hello. Kozaki Flyer is in. New PC is awesome. Nice. See you later's here. Big hello to you as well. Mr. Hoppy with the follow. Jonathan Kali 911 with the follow. Rattling Jeans S-Rap Strap 21. Both with follows. Many thanks to. When am I expecting to be done? That's an excellent question. I have... it should be a little over 2 hours, Captain Seppi. Hopefully. I'm sure we can squeeze in Scorpio. Viper Strike with the host, many thanks. Dennis G is here, good to see you. Gone 77 Zurich to Oshkosh, started yesterday morning, just finished 2 CTs, but otherwise lots of fun. Thanks for the nice idea. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and that was a heck of a trip. I was awake when you started your journey, and I'm sitting there going, you are a mad lad, sir. Glad it went overall well. Victor Sierra Mike is following along with DJ Dr. for Gold. Glad to have you aboard. Last one standing from the Murph stream. Your boy Games Liverpool, that's right. That was busy. Hello again. Oh, hey Murph. Look forward to having you on air traffic control when I start getting into Oshkosh. Hey Dougal. Oh, signing off soon. That was a mess. Well, it's a first go. As Annalisa with the subscribe for 8 months. Many thanks, Annalisa. You're an absolute legend. Matilosa is following. Many thanks. So yeah, it was our first time really doing it, and you learn more from failure than you do success. So we can now that we've done it once, and we're gonna get some practice in later tonight. We can always learn, improve, and try it again. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Roger that, Captain Seppi. Home office made it possible, and I thought, nice. Where are you now? I am flying. We are between the PMM VOR and the MKG VOR. We're about to hit the MKG VOR. Your boy, no, I'm not in there yet. Kingsman with the 500 bits, many thanks. And he started a hype train. Many thanks, my dude. And after they land, they need to hit escape so they don't clutter up the ground. I can't see much of anything around the airport when they all land. Some targets. Roger that, old veteran. So, 2 notes. When we land, everybody should park up on the northwest end of the airport. So the approach end of runway 9, and then hit your escape key, and that's going to help out a lot. Just seeing planes. What's your current route? So, Linkheart, if you do route, you'll get my route. I should have landed in the float plane base. Missed opportunity. Kozaki, there's still time. We are on the East USA server, and we are to the west, or to the east, excuse me. That is Lake Michigan that we're following the coast of, just slightly inland. USCG Azimuth with the 100 bits, many thanks, dude. So I had a lot of conflicted ideas of what I was going to fly tonight, and as I was mentioning earlier in the stream before the raid, I was struggling to figure out, well, what do I want to fly? I want to, something interesting, something unique, and then I thought, well, there is really only one answer, and that is to fly the paint scheme that looks like my grandpa's plane into Oshkosh. I never got the chance to fly to Oshkosh with my grandpa, but I have many good memories of going to Oshkosh with my grandpa, including sleeping on a very cold parking lot a couple of times. Roger that. So as far as what type of plane to fly, Murph wanted to keep it GA, and that's awesome. I don't really mind what you fly in. Oshkosh to me, and I think at its core, is really just a celebration of aviation. You want to fly an airline, go for it. You want to fly something slow, awesome. So it's kind of, this is a one-off sort of thing, so it's just like, fly what you like. The only thing I ask is you be courteous to other flyers. Kozaki with the 100 bits, many thanks, dude. I love aviation. Aviation's in my blood. I've been around it forever, and being able to share that with an awesome and amazing community of flight simming, which is an extension of the aviation community and family, it's huge. It means a lot to me, and it's awesome. And Oshkosh is the culmination of all of that in itself. So to be able to share that in some sort of online event, I approached Murph and said, I'm thinking about doing this one idea. Planning on, doing it on myself, I was just like, hey, Murph, would you think you'd be involved? And he ran with it. And I was like, oh, maybe I can get some other streamers as well. So I went to Captain Seppi, asked him, and he was all about it. Oshkosh used to be mainly related to EAA, and yeah, that's how it started. As Flights with Joe with the subscription, many thanks. As USCG Azimuth giving out another Tier 1 sub to RDY was taken. Many thanks again, my dude. So AirVenture started off, it wasn't even called AirVenture until I think 80s or 90s. Murph said it on his stream. But it started out as just the EAA folks getting together, and it just grew exponentially. They outgrew a couple different airports until they finally made it to Oshkosh. And hey, no worries, Flights with Joel. I'm glad you're here even a little bit. So many thanks, dude. Oh yeah, flying to Oshkosh is always great. I do it a lot. Hey, like to program, how you doing? So it eventually outgrew some smaller airports until it finally landed at Whitman Regional. And that's where it is today. And it's slowly looking like it's running out of space. And they may need to expand the field a bit more just to cope with parking. Bad Dog is here, good to see you. It certainly is, Kingsman. Fly Plus More, how you doing? We are on the East USA server. Not at all, you boy. Everyone is welcome to fly along. You can fly along with me. You can fly along just around Oshkosh. You can, it's all fair game. Level 1 hype train complete. Well, the ATC, we're not there yet. We're on the wrong side of the lake. But I look forward to giving it a go here in a while. So we are making our way. So we're making our way up to Ludington, where we'll cross the lake. This is one of the closest parts of the lake, and we also avoid a military operations area and some restricted airspace over the lake that is used by the U.S. Navy, I believe. We'll be then crossing just by Appleton, and then we're going to make our way to the Fisk arrival. So we are just north of Kilo Mike Kilo Golf at the moment. I am, Joel. There used to be a major air show already. Yeah. There still is. It got canceled last year because of reasons. I think it's back this year, though. I came over with the raid. I was telling them over there I was a real-world Osh control for 4 years. EA has been trying to get more area, but it's coming down to drainage. Ooh. Oh, I bet they do. That's awesome. You're a active controller. That's pretty... so you've got a good beat on things. But yeah, I would imagine that EAA and the airport have something worked out, because I mean that the event's just growing at an insane rate, and it's such a wonderful event too. There's so much to do. You can't even see anything in the whole week. It'd have to be 2 weeks long to see everything. It's such a great event. I haven't been there since 2012, and I'm not proud of the way I did that trip. It was a one-day thing with a 6-hour drive one way. Yeah, the went about as well as it sounds. Drove 6 hours, stayed there for 8, drove home, drove for another 6 hours. It was a rough day. How many times? I don't have an exact count, but at least a handful. I wish it had been more, but it is what it is. It can be an expensive trip to go if you don't plan it right. But looking forward to doing a big Firefly meetup there next year in 2022. My bit rate's going berserk and I don't know why. Seems to stabilize for a minute. So yeah, we're just north of Muskegon. We're about halfway to Ludington. In the nice low and slow 172. Yeah, God, it's my bit rate kind of went berserk for a minute. That's an even longer drive there, Joel. That's 30 hours. That's a long drive. That's you might as well fly. 100% Kazaki, 100%. I have yet to go to Dragon Con. It's on my bucket list. I have some friends that went. I believe if he's still in here, USCG Azimuth has gone to Dragon Con. Squawk 1200 with the follow. Many thanks, dude. Much appreciated. So we are breaking the normal format. Normally I like to have a couple of landings. Even Murph did that tonight. Today is just it's kind of a stress test in a way, where I'm seeing just how much fire I can get away with playing with. Technically this is a bonus stream because I don't normally stream on Fridays, but I don't have a stream tomorrow because I have other obligations, so we're streaming tonight, and it's a big event, so huzzah. You need to find a pilot to fly with? Yeah. Four back in the 90s? Nice. So, one of the reasons why I'm going this route, because it would have been a much shorter trip for me to go over to Chicago. Jacob Masad now following. Many thanks, dude. It would have been a lot easier and shorter for me to go over Chicago. Especially even with we're not dealing with like VATSIM network ATC, so we wouldn't even have to worry about the Class Bravo airspace. But in real life, Class B airspace is kind of a pain to work with, so my grandpa was notorious for avoiding Class B airspace whenever he could. And this was a route that when him and my grandma would go with the family, my grandma was deathly afraid of water. I'm not a big fan myself, but it is what it is. And this is a sim, but he would fly up to the closest point between Michigan and Wisconsin over the lake, get at a high enough altitude so if anything happens, could go glide either way. So that's kind of the route that I'm going. Plus, it avoids some restricted airspace, and so a little family connection. It really was the only right trip for me to make. You know what I mean? Some people fly for oh yeah, I believe it. Cord Osh set up for a steering VR flight, then it's time for bed. Roger that, Godden, you mad lad. So we will be still using the whole Fisk arrival. Now the Fisk arrival has several waypoints, all the way back to the, well, 4. From the Endeavor Bridge to Ripon. And there's 2 more in between. I think one's Green Lake. There's another one in there. Normally, during the Fisk approach, you'd listen to the ATIS and see which one is active. So the Endeavor Bridge is the furthest one out, and the only time they use that is when it's really, 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 really backed up. We're just flying the whole route because it's just easier that way. What mod are you using for the nameplates? It's far less intrusive than the default. It's the CPPR nameplates. So Charlie, Papa, Romeo nameplates mod. During Osh week, ATC won't touch any VFR flight following aircraft until about 125 miles outside of Osh centers and approaches. Makes sense. I mean, you guys are so busy. There's a reason why. So the control tower at Osh has a sign that says "World's Busiest Control Tower," and for like 2 weeks it is. Between early arrivals and late departures, it's just a madhouse. There's so, I mean, I've watched a lot of videos from airshow stuff. I'm just watching airplanes come in and fly out, come in and fly out. And it is an absolute madhouse. I do not envy that job whatsoever in the sense of workload. Roger that, Muse fan. I have not had any issues with it, and these name tags are phenomenal for flying at night too, because they're not super bright and you can see them, and they're just great. So I can see the wad of people over. Well, that may not be Oshkosh, that may be Green Bay, but there's a lot of people over yonder, and that might be Oshkosh. So the tower works the arrival aircraft, the pink shirts, and at the approach end of the runway on the trailers control the departures. Oh, that's a good way to split up the workload. 63 days until FS Expo. That's another bucket list convention I'd love to go to. This last year has been the most involved with the flight sim community I've ever been. I've never been involved with the flight sim community as much since, before this sim came out, and hooking up with Murphy, and then flying Fabio, and just the whole community. It's been phenomenal. So Flight Sim Expo is something I'd really, really like to go to. The default nameplates make it hard to see the runways. Yeah, 100% Muse fan. This can get a little iffy at times, but it's not so bad. It's not nearly as bad as the default. The default ones are awful. They serve a purpose, but when you get into group flights, they're just not good. And we are running live time and weather, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Check it. Ooh, no, I messed with something. This was something I didn't want to mess with. Okay, so we're at 6,500 feet. Temperature is 14 C. So we want 6.5, right about where it is. So cool. So our true airspeed is about 124. It's a little less than our ground, or a little more than our ground speed, but we got a little bit of a crosswind, and it's going to be a slow go over the lake because the wind is indicating out of the west. So we're going to have about a 10-11 knot headwind as we cross the lake. Oh, 100%, dude. That's awesome that you get to go. I hope you guys take a lot of pictures and whatnot. It looks like it's going to be an awesome thing. A proper nameplate mod is essential. I still use the not so recommended Mugs one to hide them with long button VR with a blessing. Yeah, boy, East USA. Go ahead and. I say this every time with the Mr. Mugs mod. There are people that it does not affect at all, and it didn't affect me at all for quite a while, and I just haven't gone back to it. But there are people that have, end up having issues with it. It's weird. Why that happens, I don't know, but it just does. You didn't see this. I filled up on the way there, or before leaving. But Asobo needs to have a button assigned to hide and unhide nameplates from the cockpit, because that's essential. That is absolutely essential. Yeah, it's just weird how it works. And that's why I don't necessarily recommend it, but when somebody has it installed and they start saying, hey, I've got this issue, it's the first thing I suggest to remove, just to see if it's that. I could probably go back and install it, maybe it wouldn't have a problem. Then again, it could still have it. It's kind of a crapshoot, which sucks. It was a great mod, but the inconsistency is just hard to deal with sometimes. Nearest airport is Kilo Lima Delta Mike. Kilo Lima Delta Mike. That's the nearest one. We are also on flight events. So you can track me there. There's a Bravo Bravo dash Alpha Juliet Oscar nearby. Heading in the opposite direction a little to, I believe that is Samuel Margot. Awesome. Correct. Mason County, Lima Delta Mike. So we're going to go to Comp 2. Comp 2. 119.925. 119. There's a temporary tower at KFLD.
236 at 10. Visibility 7. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,000.
I did not, but it makes sense. Actually, no, I did know that because Fond du Lac's really close. I kind of thought that they did either Fond du Lac or Appleton. Appleton's to the north. But I didn't know it was just Fond du Lac. Oshkosh is KOSH.
1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,200 feet, few clouds.
Whitman Regional.
400 feet. Temperature 26C dew point, 10C altimeter 3001.
Oh, fun. 3001.
Kilo Lima Delta Mike automated weather observation 2300 Zulu. Wind 236 at 10. Visibility 7. Sky condition few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,200 feet, few clouds at 12,400 feet. Temperature 26C dew point, 10C.
Alright, we don't need any more of that. Okay, so we're about to make the turn to go over the lake. Now, Whitman Regional. So we will be using Two-Tone Murphy's Discord for any ATC, although it looks like there's this significant loss of folks in there. Let me see if I can't get a server invite. Expire after ever. Generate copy. Murph's in there. He is indeed. So that is a link to Two-Tone Murphy's Discord. Murphy, the legend himself. We will be getting some more practice in for ATC over with his Discord voice channels. And as we get closer to Oshkosh. So if you are looking to get more ATC practice in, head on over there. Click the little shamrock to get access to the rest of the server, and you'll be good to go. So now we're making our turn over to Ludington to cross Lake Michigan. No worries, you boy. And now we get to, okay, so that is Oshkosh. There's still a lot of people there. That's awesome. This is a good song. I'm actually gonna do a quick save. Save. Checkpoint. Save. Yes. Oshkosh is in Wisconsin, Sly Sylvester for, in the United States. It's just to the west of Lake Michigan. Look at those dunes. That looks like fun. Nice. I watch a lot of airplane YouTube channels and they're yep. That's because there's a real event called Air Venture that kicks off tomorrow and goes for the next week. There's so many people over there. Yeah, it's no doubt. It's a popular place right now. It's a happening place. I look forward to all the videos that come for it. I really wish I could go this year. As Yasko88 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Sly Sylvester, I have some hours of my own that I have logged as a student pilot. I've been around aviation my whole life. My grandpa owned an airplane for quite a long time until a couple of years ago. A few years ago now. So I don't currently, but I plan to get back into it as soon as I'm able. You have a good one, Squawk 1200. Thanks for coming along. And you take care of yourself. We'll see you next time. That's correct, you boy. Live time, live weather, and it's beautiful. Gordon Bennett 0616, many thanks for the follow. I'm in South Carolina in a week, so I have to find school. Aha, that's always the trick, isn't it? Yeah, I do as well when I get back into it. My situation has changed in a lot of ways since then, as AIM 1973 with the follow, as well as Sly Sylvester Ford. Yeah, I have about 5 hours as well. I have about 4 of it is in a Cessna 150, and about 1 of it is in a Cessna 175A Skylark. In fact, that Skylark is what this 172 is painted after. Hence the Skylark text on the nose. So this airplane is in fact painted like my grandpa's old plane. So it has a lot of sentimental meaning to me, and my attachment with my grandpa was the reason I got into aviation, as well as my dad. It's just spending so much time with my grandpa over the years, my childhood. And, we'd go fly for breakfast and then go to the local air museum. A lot of, and sometimes even just hanging out with the airport guys, talking about planes and whatnot. And it's just, so aviation's a huge part of my life. 100%. How about the 152? Great airplane. Just installed the nameplate model wall. Yeah, right? It's great, isn't it, Muse fan? Blue Knight 755. Many thanks for the follow. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Yeah, I like to see PPR. Sometimes it can be hard to see during the day when it's the grass or the land is the background, but I'd rather have it with the red as is. 100% abnormal. And when I look back at it, there's so many times I wish I could go back and just spend more time with my grandpa. So many missed opportunities. But it's the past, I can't change it. Hey, there's Stairway to Bacon. Viper Strikes here. Nice. Squatch TCB with the follow. Many thanks, dude. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, it's just, you landing there? I will be landing in Oshkosh, yes. About 20 minutes in a rented 152 as a co-pilot holding the controls. Pilot was a flatmate. He flew us around Matterhorn, Mount Blanc. Some epic scenery I can tell you. Nice. Blue Knight 755 with the tier 1 sub. Many thanks, dude. Much appreciated. Really do appreciate that. Hope you enjoy the channel and the content. I do normally do 3 streams a week. Monday or Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Saturdays being iRacing. Schedule may change here soon, depending on how certain things go. But I do hope you enjoy the channel. Whoa! Blue Knight 755 gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Dennis G, Flight Sergeant G Knack, Parrot 66, and Johnny F 73. Many thanks, dude. That's very kind and generous of you. I, many thanks. I don't know what to say, but other than thank you. That's very generous and kind of you. We paid for the fuel. He got his hours. Yeah, win-win for everybody. You have a good one, Joel. We'll catch you next time. Dougal McTavish is here. Good to see you. He is an absolute legend, two-tone. Many thanks, Blue Knight. That really does mean a lot to me. This channel has been helping me get through the unpleasant times of the global situation being what it is, so it really does mean an awful lot. So thank you. Passing Chinatown 1 hour out. Get points for the tie up too. Roger that. So, one of my favorite memories, and it was the last time, I believe it was the last time that I went to Oshkosh with my grandpa. It was the year the Acceleration Expansion Pack came out for Flight Sim. And, I mean, we wandered around, we did normal things, we looked around the Fly Mart. So the Fly Mart, if you know what a flea market is, I don't know what a European equivalent to a flea market is, but it's basically where people just come and sell stuff. It's like a garage sale, except localized in one area, and it's huge. There's what's called the Fly Mart, or Fly Market even. And it's that, but related to aviation. Ooh, turbulence, that felt fun. Okay. So it's a flea market for aviation stuff. It's awesome. So we went around there. Of course, I visited the flight simulator booth. I've probably seen Jord, not realizing who it was. I remember playing FSX with a force feedback joystick, a Microsoft Sidewinder force feedback joystick at Oshkosh, and being able to share that stuff and being able to say that I've shared that with my grandpa is just absolutely special. And I remember him and I made a deal at one point that I'd do some chores or something for him and my grandpa when we got home if he'd buy me the Acceleration Expansion Pack. With the F-18 and the aircraft carriers and stuff. Finally got him to agree to it. And went to the booth and they were out. And it was just funny because it's just like I finally convinced my grandpa to, I'll do all these chores and stuff. And I did. And they didn't have it. So me doing what I'm thinking it's like, well, what can I do? What can I do? How do we do this? And find out there's a Best Buy on the drive home. So we stopped by a Best Buy on the way home, and luckily enough, they had one. And so that's how I got the Flight Simulator X expansion pack. And I mean, just AirVenture is such a wonderful event. It's definitely a list you got to go to. And I, realizing that it's much more difficult for our European friends to get to, but if you get the chance, you've got to go. It's such a wonderful thing. You can get, you can do all. If there's anything related to aviation, there's something for it at Oshkosh. It just is. You learn how to build an airplane, maintain an airplane, fly an airplane. Although they don't let students fly, and there's no flight training allowed during the event for good reason. They have a Young Eagles program for kids younger than 18 can go out and get a discovery flight and learn to fly. I don't know what the age limit is in Europe, but Here in the U.S., it's the you can get a pilot's license before you get a driver's license in a lot of cases. But so it's kind of funny in that kind of sense. But you know, there's just so many different things you can learn about aviation law and regulations, at least as far as they pertain in the U.S. I'm sure there's stuff for European law and procedures and stuff. But you know, all kinds of aircraft, new, old, jets, airliners even show up. It's such a huge event. That it's definitely worth a go-to, because it's just, there's so much to do, and that's, you know, you take, even going beyond the fact that there's symposiums and forums and classes and this and that going on, there's still air shows going on. The Canadian snowbirds have been there. The Blue Angels from the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. I mean, you name a demonstration team, and they've probably done a show at Oshkosh at least once. I'd imagine even the Breitling jet demonstration team has been there. But it's just, there's so much to do and to see and to experience, and you can fly in to Oshkosh and camp at your airplane. Camp on the airport by airplanes. If that doesn't get you going, I don't know what will. It's just like, where else can you do that? I mean, you can probably do it at Sun and Fun, but you know, it's such a fairly unique thing to be able to just fly somewhere, get your camping gear out, and you're still around airplanes. You know, it's crazy. But it's so much fun to go to Oshkosh. And I hope there's so many people still there. I think there's probably more people at Oshkosh than there are at O'Hare. So we've officially crossed the border, the invisible border of Michigan and Wisconsin. And as you can see, we can look back and still see Michigan-ish. Not great visibility out the back. But we see Wisconsin up ahead of us. We'll be flying over Manitowoc. It's a Native American name. It's a fun name. We could probably tune into their AWAS as Nomad 7 is now following. Many thanks, dude. Hope you enjoy the flight. We are, in fact, on the East USA. Don't mind the no jetliners. If you want to fly a Gigna, you're more than welcome to. That's just my normal thing. What is it? 123,775. Hey, Nomad, how you doing? 7. Just gonna jump in for a bit, guys. No doubt, man. It's getting late over on that side of the pond, so I don't blame you. But I do greatly appreciate you flying along and being in the chat even. So normally I would have gone a bit higher just to get the best glide and be able to hit land from here. but meh. So that's about where Oshkosh is, give or take. We're gonna fly over Appleton, which is just to the north, and then we're gonna kind of loop around and hit the Fisk arrival. Now, the Fisk arrival is really kind of fun. I've done it a couple of different times because in the real world you're supposed to slow to 90 knots and at 1900 feet. If you can safely do that. If you can't safely do it, you fly at 2300 feet at 130, I think. Not too long. I think we're about just shy of halfway, I think. So we're still good. We still have a headwind at this altitude. I bought the turbo arrow earlier, so I'm giving it nice. I like the turbo arrow, but I'm personally more of a fan of the Warrior. It's similar in performance to a 172, which is what I'm familiar with, and it's my comfort zone. It doesn't need to be fast. It just needs to be fun to fly, stable, and enjoyable, and that's what I really like. And that's one reason why I really love the Steam Gauge 172. Oh, wow. There's Sly Sylvester. Big Papa Polly's there. Roger RC. Spooticus. That's funny. That makes me laugh. Streaming for my friends on Discord, like being the news circling. Nice. Down in Front's here. How you doing, dude? Why are there so many people flying around Oshkosh now? Well, down in front, there's a little event called Air Venture that happens once a year at the end of July, early August. And that kicks off in the real world tomorrow. So, us flight simmers are celebrating that and having a big fly-in day to fly into Oshkosh for the big real world event. Pilot Edge did a full ATC event the end of last week, but you have to pay to use Pilot Edge. So we decided, you know what, we're going to do our own thing and make it a bit more accessible to the average flight simmer. So Two-Tone Murphy was streaming before me. He started his normal time of 1900 Zulu, or 8 p.m. Irish time, and then handed over the reins of the stream party, as it were, to me. And as shortly after I land and watch some folks come in, we'll be shuffling over to Captain Seppi, who has his own plan of coming into Oshkosh. So really look forward to see what he comes up with. He's a great dude, great streamer, great beard. And so we will definitely be interested to see what he comes up with. But yeah, we're having a big celebration of Air Venture, which is in and of itself a celebration of aviation of all kinds. I know Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to be there. GTP IP is now following. Many thanks, dude. So yeah, that's why there's so many people over to Oshkosh, and over probably the next week, there's probably going to be a lot of people in the area of Oshkosh. I wouldn't be surprised to see me flying there again because it's fun. So yeah, that's pretty much why I'm kind of loosely following a basic route that my grandpa would have taken. Started at Kalamazoo, flew up to Ludington, and I'm in the midst of crossing Lake Michigan. And as you can see, we're almost made it to shore. Oh dear, that's always fun. It was doing that early this morning for me. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop onto the Two-Tone Murphy voice channel, getting ready for my landing, so I can get an idea of what's going on there, and then we'll keep an ear on it, and once we get on the Fisk arrival, we shall be doing the thing. So prepare one and all, I'm about to get on some audio comms. Hopefully it works. So here we go. So, alright. GBTQ. Oshkosh Tower, Cessna 6947 Echo radio check.
Cessna November 6947 Echo. Oshkosh Tower, read you 5x5.
Cool. So, tower frequency works. Hopefully I'm not on Vox. I'm not on Vox. Good. So we'll keep an eye on the tower frequency on Murph's Discord, just so that we can see what's going on and we can get sequenced in for landing. Once we get on the Fisk arrival. So we are flying to the north, up and past it, then down to the arrival start. Hey, G-Nac, how you doing? Everybody loves Bob Ross. One AM. Ooh, you're up late. So, one of the important things when you're starting to get into ATC, have a notepad. Don't try to remember everything unless you've got an amazing memory, and I don't. A notepad is it's going to be your best friend for learning ATC. Woo! So we're there's a lot of great networks out there. There's IVAO, there is VATSIM, which I've used from time to time, but there's also like Pilot Edge, like I mentioned before, which is a service you have to pay for. What we're doing with the Two-Tone Murphy community is we're providing a very relaxed, chilled out, fun way to kind of dip your toes into the ATC stuff, learn what to do, what to say, how to say it, when to say it, and without any kind of pressure of having somebody yell at you for, oh, you're doing it wrong and this and that. It's like a nice, friendly way to be like, okay, this is how you do it. If you're inclined to make that step of immersion, we're providing a nice, friendly way that you can dip into it. It's by no means an obligation. It may not even be something that happens regularly, but it's fun to do every now and then, just to kind of push the envelope of comfort. Or kneeboard, yep. So Kingsman, I have my kneeboard with some Aviation 101 notepads ready to go, all formatted with all the spaces for things and informations that I'm going to need. And I have it right on my right thigh because I'm right-handed. Now, some people have an iPad and use ForeFlight, and they'll be able to, do stuff on there. For me, I just have the simple pen and paper, as it were. Are you following a VOR? No, not technically. Since technically this aircraft is equipped with a GPS, I'm able to put in waypoints, GPS waypoints. And I'm using that to follow the arrival procedure. Now I can we'll go to my nav 2, and I can dial in 116.75, and that will get me the Oshkosh VOR. And I spin this little guy around, and it's telling me that, you know, it's just about 260 degrees from where I am now. It is Curl Fork, so COLFORK, just like the channel name without the number on it. In flight events, you'll see me as November 6947 Echo. Someone's going to be ATIS. So I want to tune to the Oshkosh ATIS to get their current weather, as it is in the sim anyway. 125.9. And then I activate Comp2's audio.
Oshkosh Airport information. Echo 00000. Wind 175 at 20.
175 at 20.
Sky conditions. Few clouds at 1,100 feet. Few clouds at 4,200 feet. Few clouds at 12,400 feet. Temperature 26. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.908. Visual
29.908.
runway 18 in use. Grounding and departing runway 18. DSR aircraft. See direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions.
I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save, so everybody prepare themselves for me to fly or stop in mid-air. So now we're going to go save, checkpoint, save, yes, resume.
Wind 175 at 20. Visibility center. Sky conditions. Few clouds at 1,100 feet.
Okay, we don't need that anymore. Just in case we have a you-know-what, unexpectedly, we can at least resume fairly close to where we were, where we left off. We're still fighting the crosswind, so the ground speed or the winds up here are in a different direction than they are on the ground, which is going to make things a little interesting. Although it will make our approach into Oshkosh quite or a little bit faster. For now, it's providing us a bit of a slowdown. On top of have you solved your? It's still a work in progress, Muse fan. It comes and goes. I think I might have figured out something today, but I'm not gonna swear by it yet or mention it. I'm just gonna cross fingers, knock on wood, and hope. So we'll see. Hopefully the big update coming Tuesday helps out a great deal. On flight events, it looks like we have quite a few. See Muse Boy, nice. So someone's either above or below me. There we are.
Bravo.
There's Steegle.
Alpha Delta 369. Request landing.
There's Muse Fan, GNAC, Stereo to Bacon, Samuel Margot's still with us. There's Roger RC, Big Papa Polly, Bad Dog.
Bravo 369, Oshkosh Tower. Stage position.
Sly Sylvester's there. Someone's on
15
Vox.
nautical miles away. Traveling east.
Alpha Bravo 59, Oshkosh Tower, roger. Make straight in, runway 18. Current altimeter is 2995. Report on 5 mile final for runway 18.
Bravo Alpha Delta 369, runway 18.
I see Hawker Driver 101 down there. Another big streamer. Garages RC's there. Man, there's so many people there. We may have not have been the only ones to have this idea, but that's great. That just makes it even more of a challenge. And challenges are great. I love challenges. We do have a lot of folks following us on flight events, which is awesome. It makes it easier to find people. Hossy89, how you doing? Yeah, the update. I'm looking forward to see what it has. I'm surprised nobody that's been granted access, early access to the Xbox edition hasn't shown off things like the float planes that have been added, the wake effects, and all that stuff. Unless they're under an NDA that they can't show that stuff, they can only show certain things, which would make sense. But we'll have to see. So here is Lake Winnebago. If you've ever heard of the camper company, Winnebago, it's Lake Winnebago. In fact, if you've ever seen Spaceballs, that was a Winnebago. Just a very special Winnebago. So now, we technically, once we hit the lake, we could talk to Oshkosh. Under normal operating circumstances, we probably could. Because we're trying to split a gap between Oshkosh and Appleton. But we're going to be a lot closer to Appleton. We're just going to skim their airspace a little bit. So in a lot of ways, under normal operation, I'd be going further south and attack. I'm pointing my screen like you can see it. So normally I'd be coming further down here for a more direct approach under normal operating procedures. But given that an air venture is going on, they have very, very special procedures and approaches that you have to follow. So we're flying up to here, flying out towards the horizon, then we're flying back in. So once we get to the Endeavor Bridge, we're gonna drop our altitude, we're gonna drop our speed to 90 knots, and then we're gonna call up the tower and say who we are. So Oshkosh Tower, Cessna 6947 Echo, is so many miles west of the field over Endeavor Bridge. And with Endeavor Bridge, they're going to know exactly where I am, and I may get told report over Ripon or report over Fisk. And then, so I'll follow the procedure, I'll fly the path that I should, and then when I get over Fisk, I'll call them up and say, Cessna 6, Oshkosh Towers, Cessna 6947 Echo, over Fisk. At whatever. And then I will get instructions on how to approach and land on runway 18. So it's looking like we're going to land it. It looks like the winds are still favoring 18 to some degree, but we will be able to confirm that once we, get on the approach. And And with the sun in our face, instrument panel's a little dark. Oh, there we go. Let's get that turned up. Turned up for what? By the way, this livery, this lovely, very heartwarming livery, was painted by Sir Blackie-a-Lot, member of the two-tone Murphy community. He was very kind and painted it for me, and I couldn't be happier. About to fly switcher, roger that. We got Dougal with us off our left wing. Still have Stairway to Bacon. There's somebody below us. There's Muse Fan right there, as well as GNAT. From 1900 feet, Fisk, our tracks are very visible. Good. It's always good to hear. So we'll actually probably start, we'll drop down to 3,500 now. Oopsie. Just so we're a little bit lower and it takes us less of a descent to get down to 1,900 feet for the Fisk arrival. The weather sure turned out beautiful. There were, yesterday, had we done this yesterday, it would have been kind of a mess. Given that there's just storms, and there's some pop-up storms even this morning over this area, but it's turned out to be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Advising pants, nice. So yeah, lots of folks. There's Big Papa Polly, Bad Dogs there, Viper's Prism, Fly by Air, a whole mess of different name tags over there. This is going to be a busy place over the next week. I see Kozaki off in the distance, flying from Chicago. And just as soon as I mentioned him, he disappeared. Oops. That's what I get for showing people on stream, I guess. Sorry. Let's fly in more. There's Dougal. Thought we lost you, Dougal. That's an odd-looking 172. I must not have that livery, or it's just not loading, Dougal. We might have to work on that. Oh! Well, Flight Sim's telling me you're in a PA, or you're in a 172 and you're in a Bonanza, so it's really confused. I mean, the trade left Kankakee. Ooh. Is it a stock livery, Dougal? Because that's just going to make it even more weird if it was. Because I have it. I don't have any extra liveries for any of the PA-28 stock. Huh. Go home, Microsoft Flight Sim, you're drunk. So there's Appleton's airport right there. So we're going to basically hit right about in here, and we're going to turn southish. And we're using, of all the things, we're using a highway rest stop as a waypoint to turn towards the
Tower,
Endeavour Bridge.
Bravo, Alpha Delta 369, reporting 5 miles. Head in runway 18.
Alpha Bravo 269,
Airspeed
Oshkosh
Papa
Tower. Make straight in, clear to land, runway 18, surface wind 220 at 7 knots, clear to land.
And then we can even switch to Oshkosh ground if anybody's controlling Oshkosh ground. I don't know if anybody is. And they can direct us to parking. We'll want to park in the North 40. So the North 40 is the area around the approach end of runway 9. So it's basically the northwest part of the field. That's where the majority of... Well, I know the Bonanzas usually park up there. But, you know, a lot of folks, you know, it's a lot of the main general aviation parking. Down the main line, the front line of along runway 1836, they have Warbirds and Vintage. There's a whole chart on the Two Toward Morphy Discord and available on the EAA website about what's parked where. But the vintage planes, which don't ask me what the criteria is, I don't know it off the top of my head. That's where they park because they're cooler to look at. But we will go to parking in the North 40. Yes, I am, Dougal. Muse fan, the model matching has been very weird lately. Been seeing the Thunderflies as stock aircraft. Yeah, 100% Muse fan. That depends, Dougal. Are you Golf Sierra Whiskey Charlie Sierra? Yep, I got you. And the thing happened. And of course the thing happened. It's okay, we know where we were. Hang. Black screen and crash. Okay, we're gonna gotta do a couple things before we restart the sim. Anyway, that sim back up and running. It happens. I'm no longer upset by it because I fully expect it to happen. It's usually playing with fire when I let it just go. It's no less disappointing, however, not much I can do about it, and getting upset about it just doesn't change anything. So we just roll with it and do what we do. It's a pretty neat pick. Hey, Big Papa Polly, how you doing? We'll get the sim loaded back up and we'll be back in there in no time. It's always good to have a beverage. Tasty beverages. Definitely have a lot of hope for, well, I want to say hope. There are a lot of things that I'm hoping for with the sim update. My expectations don't match my hopes, which I think is a good thing. I haven't gone to New York yet, but it's handled everything so far nice. So we're going to reconnect that because we can. And we just wait to play the waiting game for the sim to load. Appreciate it, Dougal. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Load. Checkpoint. Fly.
Oshkosh Tower, this is NKR54, a Grumman Goose, requesting vector to the seaplane base at this time.
I heard a Kozaki flyer. Alright, so we hit ready to fly. Then we go into flight events, start tracking.
Mike Kilo Romeo 54, Oshkosh Tower. Can you report your current position?
MSFS. Bravo Mike Yankee. And teleport.
Temperature 20. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.902. ILS runway tree 6 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 6. DSR aircraft.
Oshkosh Tower, you're coming in about 1 by 5, but my position is 20 miles south of the Fisk intersection.
Port.
Oshkosh Airport information. Echo 00000.
Continue.
Wind 175 at 20. Visibility
Teleport.
none.
APX.
Few clouds at
And
1,100
Y.
feet. Few clouds at 4,200 feet. Few clouds at 12,400 feet. Temperature 24. 2.1.
Romeo 5-4, Roger, standby.
29.907. Visual runway 18 in use.
Oshkosh Tower, NKR54, you're coming in much better. That was a 5x5 transmission.
All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Edo.
One. I'm gonna go to 118.5. Squawk 1200. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit because it's not wanting to not wanting to teleport us. Probably because we're not on the ground. So we're going to do a thing. We're going
November Kilo, Romeo 5-4, Oshkosh Tower. Turn right heading 360 degrees. Make straight in. Landing in Lake Winnebago. Approach altitude 1,200 feet. Report when 2 mile final of Oshkosh Airfield.
Oshkosh Tower, this is NKR54. Roger, your last transmission. Instructions understood.
All right, we're back to where we were, folks. Roughly. We're going to do a save. Nice. So I got Big Papa Polly, Dougal McTavish, and Muse fan ahead. Flight tracker is working. Keep calling it flight tracker. It's flight events tracker. I now know what a Kozaki flyer sounds like. Now we see all kinds of folks down there. We can actually see the real lights. It's kind of a redundant saying, but whatever. For runway 18. Welcome to Appleton. And we make our left-hand turn as we pass Dougal. Now it sounds like a turbo. You know, I'm thinking that some of the CTDs are related to the model matching issue. Because if you remember back to World Update 4, the French update, it was breaking a lot of things. So I'm wondering if there's still a lot of underlying issues, and I'm kind of hoping they get addressed in the sim update. Because the model matching and livery matching have not, they just haven't been right since the French World Update. So World Update 4. They've been off ever since. So I'm wondering if something has to do with that, because before I wasn't seeing Dougal in a PA-28, even though I have the PA-28. But for whatever reason, it wasn't loading it in, and then as soon as eventually the sim just freaked out and didn't know what to do. So I'm thinking maybe not a sole cause, but certainly a contributing factor. Just interesting things you find out on stream. It would certainly make sense. It would stand to reason.
Oshkosh Tower, Piper Echo India November Mike Charlie, approximately 10 miles northeast, 3,000 feet. Request entry pattern on full stop landing.
Echo India November Mike Charlie, Oshkosh Tower. Turn left heading 200 degrees.
Turn left heading 200, Piper Echo India November Mike Charlie.
Alright. I've got to send a message real fast. The choice of coordinating streamages. I need to restart my phone because it's laggy.
Oshkosh Tower, NKR54. On downwind for final at the seaplane base. We are over at 2,100 feet at this time.
November Kilo Romeo 54, continue approach, clear to land, and parking will be available over at the Lakeshore Marriott. Correction, Lakeshore Manor.
Marriott Manor, yeah, it's the same. Ooh, imagine if there was a Lakeshore Marriott. That'd be a nice place. So we still have Samuel, Margot,
Echo India November Mike Charlie, Oshkosh Tower.
Dougal with us, and Big Papa Polly. There's MuseFan on getting vectored in. Look at all those name tags. Holy cow. That's a lot of name tags.
Echo India November Mike Charlie, say again.
Echo India November Mike Charlie, make straight in for runway 18, winds 210 at 4 knots, clear to land.
Straight in, runway 18, clear to land. November, correction, India November Mike Charlie. India, jeez. Echo India November Mike Charlie.
So that's Lake Poigan right here. And that to our left is Lake Butte. Oh no! Give it a minute. I'm gonna save. Because when the servers do that, other things happen. Save your flights, gents and ladies and gents, folks, people of the ages. Must be a server thing. So yeah, batten down the hatches, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Hey, people are starting to come back. Although I think the ATC coverage would continue, so long as people are connected to the flight event tracker.
Oshkosh Tower, NKR54, down and wet.
NKR54 Oshkosh Tower, roger, contact ground. We'll see ya.
Give it a minute, Big Papa Polly. I got you back. I see ya. Bit further ahead and maybe a little below you. Still have a Dougal. Okay. Clear shield. Yay, I can see my instruments now. That is a lot of name tags. Look at all those name tags. I think there were a bit more. It's kind of crazy. There's the Dougal. Dougal's trying to not be on stream. I'll find you, Dougal. I'll get you on camera. Can't run away that easy. They're getting more and more popular, I'm telling you, over here in the States. Lights. Okay. Radio lighting. Panel lighting. There we go. Anyway, stop my flight tracker web page from resetting to another view. If the only thing I can think of is what you're talking about is if you stop following your plane, it'll let you just click and drag and go wherever. There's so many people on flight events. Captain Clem out in the distance. So once we get over the rest stop, we're going to start our descent to 1,900 feet. And that's going to get us to the Endeavour Bridge. going to continue to adjust the nav2 instrument to keep us on just an idea of where Oshkosh is using the VOR frequency.
Oshkosh Tower, November 6978.
That sounded like a flight with Joel.
November 6978, Oshkosh Tower, go ahead.
Yeah, 6978. I am at West Side Parking, can't raise ground. I wanted to taxi for takeoff, remain in pattern.
Oh.
November 6978, say aircraft type.
6978
Hey,
is
when
a
it happens,
Cessna
pop
170.
I know the pain, my friend.
November 6978, Roger. You're clear to taxi, hold short of runway 18, taxi via Papa 2 and Papa.
Six 6978, taxi and hold short, runway 18 via Papa 2 Papa.
Oshkosh
Yes.
clear. Oshkosh Piper Echo India November Mike Charlie clear of active.
Echo India, November Mike Charlie, Roger, contact ground. Many thanks.
Goodbye, so.
Sounds like MuseFan is down safe and sound. It's always a good to hear. Oh no. I blame the servers. I blame the servers. I'm gonna go ahead and save though. Save. See you later is in. Good to see you. You UK and Irish peoples are pulling an all. When you have a good flight going, it's hard to put it down, isn't it? So outside temperature is 23°C. We're at 35. So we're actually a little above 120 true airspeed. Well, Dougal, you take care of yourself. Sorry about your CTD, but I do appreciate you flying along. I hope you had a lot of fun. You take care, and we shall see you next time, my friend. I hope it's a good landing too. We'll see. So trying to keep the speed up because of the headwind. Yeah, Dougal, I know the feeling, man. It was a lot like that for me last Friday. Just, it was unreal. So I feel you, dude. Yeah. I cannot disagree. Hey, Kozaki, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was an idea that I was playing around with for a while. We definitely learned a lot about things we need to do better, things we did well, and where we can go from here. Because I'd love to do this again. It doesn't have to be just Oshkosh. I'd like to do these big events, a few times a year. We can probably do it for Sun and Fun and next spring. And I'm sure I can think of more reasons to do it here, between now and then. So I'm glad you enjoyed
Oshkosh Tower, November 6978 is at runway 18, ready for takeoff, remain in pattern.
November 6978, Oshkosh Tower, winds 210 at 4 knots, runway 18, clear takeoff.
The whiskey does tend to make sleepy time come soon. Kill Dead Red Ted with the follow. Many thanks, dude. Hope you're well. Anytime. Yes. Oahu and other interesting places. And, it's always a good excuse to stretch the old ATC muscles every now and then in an environment there's no pressure. It's all about the fun. And I'm definitely not saying anything bad about Pilot Edge or about VATSIM. They're great networks. I've used VATSIM. I enjoyed it. But there's a lot of, to newer pilots, there's a lot of trepidation, a lot of nervousness about doing it. So having a controlled, casual environment is just amazing for folks that are completely new to it, to just get their feet wet and be like, okay, this isn't so bad. Get used to talking. Then they can, go to the VATSIM network and whatnot and just hit the ground running. "100% Muse fan, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And that's what I wanted most out of the big event, was just I wanted folks to have fun. I wanted folks to experience something new and different, and just to have fun and enjoy it. And if people have done that, if that's happened, then I can be a happy camper, because I love sharing aviation with folks. Even, and this is the best avenue that I have to share aviation with everybody. So if I can if people can enjoy something that what little contribution I can, if they've enjoyed that makes my day. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Look forward to doing it again sometime. Exactly, Kozaki. And anything I can do, and I love aviation so much. It's been such a wonderful thing for me to be able to share that in even a virtual form is amazing. GNAC, this is the classic 172. It's just painted up like my grandpa's old plane. Nope, just delivery. Just delivery. Closed captions. You silly closed captions. What is it even doing anymore? The Steam Gauge 172 comes with the Premium Deluxe Edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So it's the only mod running right now is the GNS 530 and 430. It's a great plane, Muse fan. Just Flight did a really nice job on the PA-28 series. They really knocked it out of the park. And that's coming from a Cessna guy. Down in front, how you doing? Well done. Well done, Colonel 485 and Two-Tone Murphy. The Chilled Out ATC is ready to help us new pilots get used to the experience. Hope to join you guys next time. Absolutely. I'm glad you enjoyed it down in front, and that was our end goal. And we're still going to have more coverage, at least streamage with Captain Seppi directly following my stream. We're going to raid him. But I'm glad people are enjoying this. Looking forward to A2A bringing this. Yeah, 100%. I want their B-17. I want their Warbirds. The Strato Cruiser would be really cool. But yeah, down in front, happy to have you. Glad you enjoyed it. That means the world to me. And 100% we'll do it again. There's 100% chance of it happening again. Hopefully it doesn't take 6 months to do another one. I wouldn't mind. I would love it if we could do this like once a month, because
November 6978, Oshkosh Tower, winds 210, 4 knots, runway 18, clear, touch and go.
It's such a great way to get people together, have some fun, do a little practice, and it's just fun. I really enjoy it. Is it mostly GA? Mostly, yes. We occasionally go into the Warbirds, occasionally the jet fighters. Don't really do the airliners, but it's mostly GA stuff. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy the low and slow GA. And Cozy. I'm probably butchering that. Nakazi. We're participating in a community fly-in stream marathon day thing going into Oshkosh with some homebrew ATC and just having fun and celebrating SimFlight. Knucklesy? Gotcha. First time here looking for GA stuff. I try. I butcher things a lot. I'm sorry. Yeah, GA stuff. This is my channel is 95% GA. Occasionally I'll get into faster stuff like Warbirds, or rare, even more rare, the fighter jets. I don't really do airliners at all. The biggest airliner I've done is either the DC-6 or the CJ-4. Haven't done them on stream though, but it's mostly the low and slow thing with a propeller on the front of it. 95? Cool. I normally stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But tonight we're participating in a, like I said earlier, a community fly-in event thing mabob deal. So before us, we had Two-Tone Murphy streaming, who is another low and slow GA flight sim streamer. And after we're finished, after we get landed and situated in Oshkosh, we will be raiding Captain Seppi, who flies a variety of things. But great streamer, great guy. Look forward to his fly into Oshkosh. We're currently flying the classic Cessna 172 from Asomo, available with the Premium Deluxe Edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Painted up like my grandpa's old plane from my childhood. and most of my life. Hey, Ty, how you doing? So right there is the Endeavor Bridge-ish. So we're almost there. How you doing, Ty? So once we hit this waypoint, we're going to drop altitude. We may not drop speed just for the sake of time. Picked up 4 Pipers today. Time to start checking them out. There you go. I'm doing pretty good. Yes, we are, Brick. We're about to start the Fisk approach. I'm just about over a highway rest spot where we're going here, right about here-ish, where we're going to make a left and then drop altitude and fly into Oshkosh via the Fisk arrival. Once we're down and situated, we'll be rating Captain Seppi for his trip in as part of a stream marathon, as it were, between Two-Tone Murphy, myself, and Captain Seppi, flying into Oshkosh, celebrating the event in real life starting tomorrow. And it's a bumpin' airfield tonight. No. The moniker of Colonel Fork did not really become a thing until about 2005, give or take. Okay, so that was weird. So I'm going to save a checkpoint, because when Flight Sim does weird stuff, I save the flight. So we're going to fly 1900. Okay, clocking out for the night. Might fly a few hours with Allison tomorrow. Thanks for. Glad you enjoyed it, Muse fan. You take care. You sleep well, and we'll catch you next time. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I look forward to doing this sort of thing again. 30-party scenery, yes. So it's, if you go to flightsim.to, there are 2 sceneries. There's one just for Whitman Regional, and one that adds the dots on the runways. I'm running both of those. I was going to use the Pilot Edge sceneries, but they're awful. They're not optimized well at all. Once the sim loads them, they're fine, but when it goes to load them, when I'm within like 20 miles of the field, it freezes the sim for minutes. And so they're not very well optimized, so I opted not to use them. That should be enough, Brick. That should be enough. I'm really hoping that somebody produces a really nice, publicly available Oshkosh soon. Of course, I'm a little biased. I would love to see Jefferson 2001 put out his own, because it would be absolutely epic. But he has so much on his plate, I would not bother him about it. Yeah, we just keep hitting headwind after headwind, don't we? Jeez. Had a headwind. We had a crosswind going up the Lake Michigan, or up the Lake Michigan shoreline of Michigan. Had a headwind crossing the lake. We've got a headwind heading south to the Fisk arrival. It's just been... I kind of feel like my buddy Brazenhead in his Sea of Thieves, just headwind, headwind, headwind. Wherever you go. My goodness. Can't catch a break. Can't catch a tailwind. We are doing some casual ATC using Two-Tone Murphy's Discord. So if you head over to that link, get going on that Discord, that will get you access to the channels that we're using, just as a nice, easy place to get rolling. Jacob Masad is in. Fort looks like a honeycomb yoke you're using. No. I do have the honeycomb alpha yoke. I'm using a Logitech throttle quadrant and Logitech pedals. The Charlie pedals look great. The Bravo throttle quadrant is too much. It takes up too much desk space, and so I really have no interest in it. Draco is in. Good to see you. I hear good things about the Bravo. It's just, it takes up so much desk space that it's ridiculous. Okay, so we're the Endeavor Bridge, which is where we're going to start making our call to the ATC, is right about here.
Osh Tower 6978.
6978, Oshkosh Tower, go ahead.
Oh, I see. I think my mic's only working when I'm looking at the Discord.
I was thinking that.
So we're about to make our
Oshkosh Tower 6978, cancel landing intentions, depart to the south.
9078, Roger. Frequency change approved.
We're definitely doing some learning, and that's the wonderful thing about doing ATC this way is most of us are still learning.
Frequency change approved. Good evening.
And there's no pressure, no expectation. We're having fun and we're learning, and that's what it's all about for us. Is, you know, enjoying what we're doing and learning in the process. So it's been wonderful. So we're about to turn on to Endeavor. So I need to check, because I'm kind of wondering. Ooh, wow. That's 45. That's your choice then. No worries. We like fun. We like the GA stuff. It's all... We love to just have fun. And I think life's too short to not have fun. So there. Oshkosh Tower, Cessna 6947 Echo is approximately 45 miles to the southwest over the Endeavor Bridge inbound to land via Fisk.
November 6947 Echo, Oshkosh Tower, Squawk 1711.
1711 for 6947 Echo.
November 6947 Echo, radar contact, continue approach, report from Ripon.
Report from Ripon for 6947 Echo. This stuff back. Control V. Oh no. Uh-oh. What did I do? Uh-oh. E. Okay, fix it. Woo! All right, so we're officially on the Fisk arrival, the longest route that you can take, that they only use when it's really busy. And we can see all the folks still in there.
Bravo Alpha Delta 369.
Bravo Alpha Delta 369er, Oshkosh Tower, go ahead.
Get a real good look at the ground from 1900 feet.
Bravo Alpha Delta 369, requesting clearance for departure, runway 18, holding short at P1.
Bravo Alpha Delta 369er, winds 2104 knots, runway 18, clear takeoff.
Bravo Alpha Delta 369, clear takeoff. Okay.
It's quick and easy when runway 36. Yeah. It is, isn't it, Ty? Nice and low. You can see the trees and the houses and the cars when there's cars. You can see the baked-in clouds that sometimes pop up, the little ponds. We're gonna do a quick save because I'm not trusting things. And that sunset, though, look at that. And this sim really knows how to look good when it wants to work. It's absolutely incredible. The Flying Doggo, I approve of the username. Still a lot of names. Yeah. J Square 63, how you doing? My graphic settings are kind of mid-range, kind of medium and high-ish. Maybe a couple of things tick to ultra, but not much. It really is. For being mid-range graphic settings, the sim really still looks just stunning. Roundabout that, yeah. see. So we're on our way to Green Lake. Just passing the Puckaway Lake waypoint. Could help someone overcome. I think so in a lot of ways. Here's the thing. I don't like heights. I'm afraid of heights. You put me on a ladder, I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't like heights. But in an airplane, even in a real airplane, I'm fine. Knowing how an airplane works and that there's a lot of science keeping it in the air, for me, just gives me that peace of mind. And, you know, even knowing how to fly to even a basic degree helps me cope with heights. It's a sense of control for me. So it might, but I mean, I'm not a psychologist, so I couldn't say yes. It's awesome. Yeah, no, heights, no. Don't put me on a ladder, don't put me on ice scaffolding. I'll be a basket case. But you get me in an airplane, I'm cool as a cucumber. Because then I have that sense of control. Yeah, VR does help. I've had a few moments of feeling like I was going to fall out of my chair. Just with the way VR is. But it's... I always catch myself. I think first kind of whoa moment I had was when I was flying a bird dog in VR. And I just looked out and was like, oh, because you get more of a sense of depth. Happy to help, Scotty. Hope you're doing well. See Bad Dog. Well, I have the Rift S. It's okay. It's not spectacular, but it's enough to get the job done. I mean, the Rift S isn't exactly the latest and greatest of VR headsets anyway, but it performs well enough. I certainly am. I don't like heights. I don't like heights at all. Oh, nice. First, I've heard good things about the Quest 2. So we're getting close. We're almost to Ripon. We're about 10 nautical miles out. I'll do my best, J Square. You have a great evening, and I do appreciate you stopping by. So only one for MSFS. That's fair. That's all. That's Flight Sim is all I bought my headset for VR. Because VR, I could do it in my racing sims, but I got it for flying. CV1 on a 1070. Nice. How you doing, Brandon? The main holdup for mine is just the Sims performance with AMD GPUs is kind of iffy at times. It seems to run okay in VR. The Oculus software can drive me up the wall though, but overall the performance is well enough. I missed something. Man, there's a lot of name tags at Oshkosh. I don't remember the last time I saw so many name tags over Oshkosh. I have to turn things down a bit, but still looks great to me since the CV1's the only headset I've used. Yeah, and that's kind of the story for me is my settings are turned down, even from what I'm running without VR. But it's enough to get the effect across. I could probably... I think the biggest killer was the anti-aliasing. If I could turn that up just even a notch, it would look 10 times better than what it does. But it's still fantastic. It still looks good enough to get the idea that, oh, I feel like I'm in an airplane right now. It's good fun to take up like the Waco or the Stearman or any of the Warbirds, the Spitfire, Corsair, P-40. They're amazing. I've yet to take the DC-6 into VR, but that's going to be... I've heard really good things about that experience. Oh yeah, 100%, Brandon. 100%. You actually feel like you're up off the ground, and for me, even just the ability to look around, when you're doing ops, whether you're especially on the ground, but when you're on final and you need to look for traffic and you need to find the field and that sort of thing, it's unbeatable to be able to have that sense of freedom of movement. Almost over Ripon, so we'll make another call to ATC here in a minute to Oshkosh Tower. I don't want to be on that page. I want to be on that tab. Zoom in. I mean, the overall sense of immersion, speed, height, all that is just nuts and it's without comparison in VR. Oshkosh Tower, Cessna 6947 Echo is over Ripon at 1,900 feet.
November 6947 Echo, Oshkosh Tower, Roger. Proceed and report from Pickett.
Pickett? Where's Pickett? The heck is Pickett? Oshkosh Tower, unfamiliar with Pickett. Do you mean Fisk?
You can report on Fisk. Pickett just before it.
Copy. Report over Fisk. 47 Echo. Pickett. I'm not seeing that on any of my charts. Interesting. Oh well. I should have asked if Pickett is in Leitrim.
The Oshkosh Tower, November 65 Juliet, was getting Captain Seppi. You guys going to be on for very long? We're starting a 2-hour flight to Oshkosh.
November 50 Whiskey, I'll be on for a little bit, and I imagine Colonel Fork will be on for a bit longer.
Okay, we'll hang out here for a bit. We're getting ready to leave Kilo Bravo Romeo Lima. It's about a 2-hour flight from the south up to Oshkosh. Anybody that joins and would like to get in, we'll send them over. In the meantime, I'll just sit right here on this frequency and play nice. 6-5 Juliet Whiskey.
Roger.
There's Big Papa Polly, Ajax, Bad Dog, Pitcher Miller, and so many name tags. And one of the wonderful things about doing this in the sim, there's not a time limit because the airport closes to all VFR or all traffic between
November
8 p.m.
6947 Echo, Oshkosh Tower.
6947 Echo, go ahead.
6947 Echo, runway 18 is active, winds 2204 knots. We're going to have you make a right turn at Fisk to 090. Entry will be a left downwind for runway 18. I want you to report on the left downwind.
090 after Fisk, report left downwind for runway 18 for 6947 Echo. So we'll hit Fisk and then we'll switch to heading mode. Follow Gustav the Raywig. I would much rather follow Gustav the tank gun or the track gun, train gun. So we'll hit Fisk, we'll hit heading mode, and then we'll report downwind. Hey, we got a 7-4. That almost looks like AI traffic. But it could be somebody's gamer tag, who knows? With the way they're flying, it's probably a player. Get ready to hit heading mode. It's turning, so we're going to turn on heading mode. Do you know how to deal with the buttons, etc. with VR Rot? It's a trick I've learned by feel, and sometimes I'll have to peek. Otherwise, I end up just using the mouse to do what I need to do. The biggest issue with the radios, it's not that hard because I can as long as I can find the dial and know what setting I'm on, it's, I'm able to do that just fine because I can see it. Some of the switches are a little bit more tricky to find, but you do it often enough and it just becomes muscle memory. Yeah, and I've got the two side check panels plus my throttle quadrant and whatever's on the yoke, and just knowing what's where and just flying over and over and over again, using it with the headset on. It's just, you know where to look, or your body knows where to look. I need to adjust my course a little bit because of wind. So now we go mixture full. We're going to start pulling back on the throttle. We're actually going to go ahead and engage that. We're going to start prepping for landing. Not Jedi skills. I think Jedi skills is a bit of an overstatement, but definitely just a lot of repetition. And there's the white arc, so we're going to go ahead and add our first notch of flaps. Use the Force, Luke. The Force will be with you, always. So there's Oshkosh. So many name tags. My goodness. See, we've got the dots. I'm going to go out a little ways before we turn to downwind. I'll wait for this road. Oshkosh Tower 6947 Echo is turning left downwind for runway 18.
November 6947 Echo, Roger. Report on left base.
Report on left base for 47. So now we have to turn before the end of the, ideally before the blue dot for final, according to the NOTAM. But we'll wait until the end, because there should be a displaced threshold, and it's not here, which is fine. Yeah, I get that little window right about the bridge of the nose. Oshkosh Tower, Cessna 6947 Echo, turning left base for runway 18.
November 47 Echo, runway 18, clear to land, winds 2005 knots.
Clear to land, 47 Echo, winds noted. We're getting real slow, but that's okay. We're in a 172, we can do that. Full flaps. Oh yeah, there we go. And we're slow, so we're gonna hit the brakes, pull back on the yoke because we want to make this taxiway.
You can't stop believing in yourself just because somebody in your life don't believe in you. You can't stop chasing the dreams of your life just because when you know when you do it, you're gonna have to do it.
Oshkosh Tower 6947 is clear of the act.
Remember 6947 Echo, welcome to Oshkosh. Contact ground. See ya.
Contact ground, thanks. Alright, so we're just gonna hang out in this frequency. We're just gonna go ahead and park. So we'll go off to here, off this way, find ourselves a parking job. We're gonna turn off our landing lights and strobe lights, turn on our taxi lights. And we're gonna find ourselves a nice cozy parking space over here in the grass. Turn right about here. Come on. Okay, parking brake set. Lights off, nav lights off, panel lights off, avionics off. And And mixture off, flight recorded. Masters off, mags off, lights off. Kind of have a quick look around. Huge thank you to everyone for stopping in, for coming along, having fun. It's been an awesome evening. Starting off with Murph, continuing with all the love that you all have shown me. But now we're going to pass on that love to Captain Seppi. So stick around as we raid, but thanks for all the new follows, the new subscribes, the resubscribes, for hanging out in the chat, for just following with me on and checking out my channel. I really do appreciate it. We're going to go check out Captain Seppi for the last third of this stream adventure to AirVenture in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thank you all. And until next time, be good to each other. Stay safe out there. We'll catch you next time. Take care. Nice, Captain, or nice, Kazaki.